Hello, I'm Dr. H. Christian Gunderson, and today we're going to talk about stress busting for the professional. As a professional, we are all under a lot of stress. It's coming at us 24/7 in all these different directions. And the question is, what do we do about it? How do we recognize it? How do we react to it? But more importantly, how do we let it go? Stress causes disease, it causes disease, it causes heart attacks, it causes bad marriages, it causes you not to be who you truly are, not to be who you truly want to be. Stress is probably the #1 health hazard in the United States. We overeat because of stress, we oversmoke because of stress, we overdrink because of stress. We get in fights with our spouse, with the people we love, over stress. So the question is, how do we bust that cycle? How do we take care of it? As a professional, the stress that you get is different than a non-professional. It's different from somebody who mows your garden, who works in construction, who picks up garbage, who is working behind the counter. Let me give you a couple examples. Nurses and doctors. Nurses and doctors join their profession out of a deep love of humanity. Unfortunately, they turn around and over and over and over again, they see and they feel broken people. Imagine going into a cancer ward and know every day that you're walking in, somebody who you've grown to care about is in the process of dying. And you're a compassionate person. That will be stressful. Lawyers. Lawyers on the other side, their whole organization, how they interact with each other in the outside world is basically fight or flight. They're always attacking. They're always sending nasty notes to people. They're always basically kind of going after. They're always in the fight mode or the flight mode, depending on what's going on in their practice. Now, when 10,000 years ago, if a lion was coming at us, we ran. Guess what? And we were under a whole lot of stress. We had a lion coming at us. And we ran really good for about 3 minutes. And after the 3 minutes, we either were alive or we were somebody's lunch. And either way, you're out of stress. The problem with the modern professional is the stress that we're getting is constant. It's not 3 minutes and stop for a week or two. It's 24/7. It's from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. And then half the time we have nightmares about all the work that we have to do, about all the issues that are going around in our head. That's a problem of professionals. Police, guards, people who work in really bad situations, get called to a house. They don't know whether or not they're going to need to pull out a gun. They don't know the circumstances, so they're always on guard. They're always ready to react, to act. It's a hard burden to take on. Dentists. Remember when you were a little kid and your mother or your father yelled at you for something, maybe 3 or 4. Or if you had a dog and you snap at the dog will automatically turn around, bend his head, and get kind of quiet. Physiologically, when we bend our head, when we look down, we are going into our emotions. We are going into our feelings. People who are really kinesthetic, they talk slower, versus people who are really visual who see things. So you're a dentist. So you're a dental hygienist. What do you do every day of the week? You basically are looking down into the person you're causing pain to. and you're feeling that emotion on a subconscious level. That's called stress. So every profession has a unique way of getting stress. Luckily, the letting go of it is pretty universal if you know what to do. Also, there's a huge difference between stress for men and stress for women. Men, we tend to basically get stress from inside of ourselves because of lack of achievement, or we were in a fight with somebody in the office, or we were going out. So our stress tends to be more external. Women, on the other hand, they get stressed because they're worn out, because they're doing 20 different jobs. There's someone's nurse, there's someone's mother, there's someone's wife, there's someone's chauffeur. They're doing 15 different jobs. And after a while of doing all these jobs and all this stress all the time, they forget who they are. So there is a difference between men and women as far as how they experience stress a lot of time, and also how they react to it. Men tend to get a little bit more angry. Women, on the other hand, tend to get a little bit more depressed. There is a difference. Again, how to deal with it is pretty universal if you know how to do it. One of the first things is the difference between compassion and burnout. It's an important thing to recognize, especially if you're in a healing profession. Anytime you deal with somebody on an emotional level, you need to know the difference. You also need to know how to honor somebody. It's an important concept that very few people truly understand and truly carry with them. Another thing is creating ceremonies. We will talk a little bit about more of that later in other speeches and other talks. And it's important. It's important to use some of the baby steps that we will give you. We have around 25. Each one is designed to be used now. Not next week or next year, but right now. It's important to de-stress your life now, not after you have your second heart attack or your third divorce. You are carrying stress as a professional. The question is, how do we overcome it? This is our goal. This is my goal. For you to feel and get a more stress-free life. And to do it now. I'm Dr. H. Christian Gunderson. Thank you.